for struggling through the snow and the sleet and the hail and the rain and all the elements. Just like postmen, they made it up here this morning. Darden, how you doing?
Well, slowly. Cold. I fell as I was coming into KUT this morning, so my wrist hurts, but I'm okay.
Think you can play?
I think I can manage.
Oh, it's good to have you back up here.
Good to be back.
You know, I'd say you probably have the dubious honor of being the most featured artist on KUT in history.
I bug y'all a lot, so you let me...
No, we do give you a hard time about that. Seems like you show up no matter what's going on.
Nobody ever makes a big deal of it but you, Dave.
Well, okay, enough said. Well, I'm going to turn it over to you, Darden, and you can play a few here, and then we'll tell everybody where you and Robert are playing tonight, because I know that's still on.
Yeah, it's still on.
It's
come rain or sleet.
That's right. So
snow.
Take it away.
All right, it's a little tune called Little Maggie. It's about a woman who hits 30 and decided that her life is boring, so she goes off to the big city, and her husband goes out to the highway to bring her back home. Hey, little Maggie with the green dress on, walking down Highway 31. Take 2 steps sideways, turn and run, walking down that 31. Now don't let your age get you down, Maggie, you're the prettiest girl in town. When we lay down at night to sleep, Maggie, if I didn't know better, swear you were 17. Hey, little Maggie with the green dress on, walking down Highway 31. Take 2 steps sideways, turn and run, walking down that 31. And now here you stand on the side of the road, trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You're trying to be a woman, but trying to be a girl. Look here, Maggie, what you want, the best of both worlds. Hey, little Maggie with the green dress on, walking down Highway 31. Take 2 steps sideways, turn and run, walking down that 31. What's the deal, Maggie? Do you have some wild-eyed point to prove? I think you ought to stop, 'cause you got a lot to lose. Now, hey, little Maggie, don't lose your head. Taking back all of them things you said. Put your bags in the car, let's go on home. I'm the first man to give you loving you can call your own. Hey, little Maggie with the green dress on, walking down Highway 31. Take 2 steps sideways, turn and run, walking down that 31. La da la la da da, la da da la da 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 da, la da da la da da. All right, little Maggie. This tune called $2 Novels. It's about neighborhoods going home. Send this out to Bruce Wyatt today. Well, I turned right on First, left on White Oak, back to my old neighborhood. I saw old Doc Randolph mowing his yard. He's kept it up the best he could. The devil and his wife of 32 years, she smiled as I drove by, away from her front porch swing. And she went back to reading her $2 novel and playing with the wedding ring. A few houses needed painting, a few gates were unhinged, but generally the place looked the same. And all the driveways are full of bikes and Buick sedans, things that any good American would claim. And all them other lovers that married for cover, and they's out for the sacred nightly stroll. And they were wishing there were characters in a $2 novel, wishing for the weight in gold. Now Mary Elizabeth, she's my high school sweetheart. She married my best high school friend. And he manages the hardware store, and she became a nurse, and I became a memory to them. And all my other buddies, they just got lost in outer space, and they ran off to serve their country well. And they're all fighting in a war of $2 novels, only the toughest live to tell. So I turned right on White Oak, left on First, out of that old neighborhood. I left Dr. and Mrs. Randolph sipping iced tea on the front porch, wondering if I'd ever come to any good. And on 1,000 shady streets, 1,000 other towns, now people, Lord, they was doing just the same. And they're all living their lives like $2 novels, wondering why the world's so insane. And they're all living their lives like $2 novels, and wondering why there's nothing left to gain.
Darden Smith here on KUT this morning. Darden, don't run away there, guy. Wanted to ask you a question or two here. You were gone. You went up to Chicago here recently?
Yeah, I went up to Chicago, went up for Christmas time. Went up to visit some folks up there and do a little music. It was a good time. Wonderful city.
You play any clubs in Chicago?
Yeah, I did a little coffee house called the No Exit Cafe, which is a real folk, coffee house. The folk scene up there is really, really strong.
It is?
Yeah, real strong. And it was one of the strongholds. Place has been around for 15 years. It was a good time. And also did a radio show that my buddy Robert Keene turned me on to. It's a real good show called Flea Market. It's done from the Old Town School of Folk Music, and it's broadcast nationwide on some public radio stations. I don't believe KUT carries it, but it was a real good time, really good show, and had a lot of fun.
Do you find the folk music up there has a different feel to it, or different
yeah,
themes,
it does, and I don't really know how to describe it. It's different. There's not as much. It's just a different feel. I wouldn't want to categorize it, but it's a different feel to it.
Is it more urban? That makes sense.
Maybe so. Maybe it's more urban. I'm not real sure how to describe it, but it did feel different. I felt like a fish out of water sometimes.
How'd you come across?
Okay. It wasn't. I didn't bowl them over and get great rave reviews in the paper, but it was. I had a good time and did get some good feedback on it.
Darden Smith, sure nice to have you back up here.
Oh, it's good to be back up, Dave.
Yeah, I appreciate you stopping in anytime.
You bet, especially when it's snowing outside.
Yeah, well, that's good music for a snowy day.
Yeah.
If the audience isn't